If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's good, YouTube? We're here to share with you some more rock gameplay. I've been brainstorming a lot of ideas with this deck because I think it's got some serious potential if you just sort of hone in on playing the good ones, quote unquote. Definitely Dark Guy is the route to go. I've decided to just full in on Dark Calling. It's by far the best sort of payoff boss monster. Just having like a pseudo miracle fusion to make the really huge, intimidating boss monster. And he does have a decent effect. And just the crazy stats, it definitely provides you something a lot of decks don't have in terms of just being able to win the game out of nowhere, especially a lot of the good, consistent decks. So I'm a big fan of Dark Gaia. I've decided for now to go a Raikou Hamster Caius route. This could potentially change, definitely based on some of the replays. I'm a little bit skeptical of the milling. It's weird because I think the milling is very good. It allows you to not have to stuff your deck with a ton of just bad fiend monsters because statistically you're pretty much always going to mill a Caius or something eventually. But on the other hand, it can also kind of conflict. Like if you mill all your Dark Callings or something, that can feel bad. The Giant Rat, too, it's like if you mill recruiter targets, that kind of feels bad. So I might have to switch something up with regards to that. We are on the Rat package, as you can see. I played this because I wanted to fit in Dyna and to have another rock target, essentially, because I didn't feel like I had enough for Guardian, maybe, was the thinking. Which I could see that, but a lot of times Guardian will trade with something just no matter what, even if you don't have a rock in your hand, so that's also something to consider. But yeah, the rat package is just the rats. We play the Trooper to have more milling to set up the Dark Calling, and then we play Grand Mole because it's the best rock monster in the entire game. The other rocks we play are just Gigantes and Quackimero Guardian. I think these are far and away the best rock monsters that we could be playing right now in the main deck. Guardian, obviously insane, very good effect. Gigantes, seriously underrated card. Just a 1900 that you can drop. It helps you like extend and push against aggro. It lets you get aggressive. It lets you, you can use it with the Caius, which we're playing because it's the best Dark Fiend. So it just does a lot of cool stuff, and then it also has like the cool graveyard effect, which makes your opponent not want to run over, which is very good. So that's the build we have for right now, and let's go over a couple of the replays that I have. Okay, so we have 3 replays against, I think, Plants, Hero Beat, and Gladiator Beast. So this first one's up against Gladiator Beast. We're going second. We open just a terrible hand. Now, I'm kind of confused why the opponent didn't just set Jar with 4 back row here. I think that would have been a very solid play. I decide to set everything, which I think is probably correct. We draw Raikou for turn, which is good. We definitely needed a monster we could normal summon here, for sure. So let's see what the opponent does. Okay, they just go set 2, and then I see the GB, and I'm like, oh, God. So I instantly bottomless that. I mean, yeah, that's what we're doing. I decide to flip the Raikou. I think I target the set monster here, thinking that it's Morphing Jar, and then I'm playing against GBs. But it's actually just in a Hoplomus. But even if it's Hoplomus, I think we want to do that. However, we do play into Torrential. Maybe I should have summoned the rat first, and then flipped the Raikou. Probably should have done that. Because then, if they'd flipped Torrential... Well, if they had flipped Torrential on the summon of Rat, we wouldn't have gotten to flip the Raikou. But, actually, it would have been the same, right? Because we'd have summoned the Rat, and we'd have flipped the Raikou targeting the set monster, and then they'd have Torrential. Okay, it didn't matter. Never mind. So the opponent goes, they go set. Here, I decide, like, alright, gotta keep playing around Morphing Jar because of stupid Clad Beasts. They go for Bestiary here. I don't know why. They could have played under Bottomless, but they just didn't play under Bottomless, so they get their Bestie Bottomless, and we just never have to worry about that ever again. So that was definitely odd. Here I think we summon the Gigantes attack, just like thinking that it's Morphing Jar, and I kind of want to draw 5 at this point. But they compulse it back, and then I resummon the Gigantes, and then they summon Laquari. I decide to hold off on attacking. Yeah, they're on one of these weird builds with Icarus Attack, so they search for a quest, which they can use with Icarus Attack if they so choose. I decided to just pray that they don't have War Chariot. I mean, I could have booked that, I guess, but I think it was probably correct to just check them for War Chariot. So we've now drawn all 3 Gigantes, and you would think that would be bad, but actually it's like been pretty good. So we hit in, we get Mirror Forced. Yeah, that sucks, but now we just summon the next Gigantes, and the opponent is just stuck behind a Gigantes again. We draw Trag. I mean, just a really worthless card against GBs, so I decided to flip up one of the Dark Callings just to summon a 1900 Dark Gaia. We know Mirror Force is gone, so we attack. They actually don't flip the Icarus. Really weird. I don't know why they didn't Icarus at any point. I guess they're playing around Road because they saw me set everything on turn 2, which kind of makes sense, but at the same time, maybe you should just go for it in this situation. We go set Legacy, and I think they just scoop it up there. Alright, that was weird. That was a weird game 1, for sure. I guess that's just how it goes versus GB, though. There's never a single normal game. Game 2, we hit in with this. This person was playing, like, triple Hoplomus or something, which is really bad. I don't know why they were doing that. They had, like, so many Hoplomuses. But anyway, they just go for smashing, attack. I think I book, and then we go with special Gigantic. We draw Dust Shoot, which is just absolutely worthless. We didn't have a side deck for this game. We still don't have a side deck, actually. What am I talking about? We have no side deck, so we had to play against GBs with no side deck. I hope you all feel bad for me. There's just like a ton of deck cards in the main deck that are natively really bad against it, like Dust Shoot, Gore's Trag, to some extent the Battle Recruiters, although they can float into like Dyna or Card Trooper, which is pretty good. Here, obviously, we are going to Solemn Judgment the Gazars, because that cannot possibly be allowed to come down. So we hit in, we get our Caius mirrored, which does suck. They top deck a GB, which, yeah, that also does suck. I think they just get Bestie to kill the set Dust Shoot, which is kind of good for us, because the Dust Shoot wasn't doing anything, and we would rather them do this and have to spend this compulsory than actually get the Laquari and have a 2100 guy, but they get it now. And now we just got to hope they don't draw another GB, but they do. So we're going to a game number 3. Not really sure I could have done much in that game. We opened Trag here, which again feels bad. This shouldn't be in my main deck, but it is. So they just go set. And then I think we just attack, and it's like Hoplomus again. I'm like, how many Hoplomus are you playing? I think this game was where I realized that they were on multiple Hoplomus. I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? Does GB even play one Hoplomus optimally anymore? I'm not even sure they play one. I feel like it's optimal to play 0 Hoplomus. Anyway, we go for the brain control. Worst case scenario, it forces out a book, and we flip Raikou, pop something, tribute for Caius. So, actually, that would kind of even be better than what happened. But anyway, we're going to flip the Raikou. And I decided at this point we're picking off back row, so we just go Caius. That back row, I had it in my mind that this one was like a Starlight Road, but it turns out they were just playing into Storm, I think. Yeah, we milled the Storm this turn, so they didn't know Storm was gone. They just said screw it, which I guess is something you have to do a lot with GBs. Here I decided it's more important to keep the Guardian and just like pray I draw a Rock Monster to stop them from doing stuff next turn. And we draw into some pretty good stuff. And we do have the Guardian hand to reveal for the Guardian, so it's all good. They end up smashing it, which is fine. I decide to book. I do not think this set is another War Chariot. I mean, it could be, but it's not. So they set everything, and then we're just like, alright, I hope you don't have a Battle Trap. And they do. Man, they drew Mirror Force like every game, actually. That's insane. That's like the best card you can draw in GBs, too. I swing with Sangan. They don't even pause to think there, so I assume there was no Deep Prison. Then we get the Sangan Search, which basically confirms that there's no War Chariot set. They just go for this to get another GB. They have an Icarus attack that's live. Alright, they do set the Icarus attack, and then I go T-set with the Raikou and the Book of Moon. They maybe should have summoned Hoplomus here. I think they end up setting it instead. Either way, we have to book this, I think. So, okay, apparently they just held on to it. Now we go summon this, try to bait something, and then we get the Dark Gaia. I don't know why they didn't Icarus this. Again, like, just use your Icarus. Bro. Like, the compulsory could get some value later. They just never use the Icarus. They're playing the build with the Icarus, and they never use the Icarus. So here they hit in. We do Raikou, the attacking Hoplomus. Wait, yeah, does this confirm? There are just, like, triple Hoplomus. No, wait, there's only 2 in rotation. All right, maybe it's only 2, but any number is too many, actually, so whatever. We go for Caius here. No, we don't go for Caius. We attack in first because we think there's no way they're on 2 Hoplomus, and then they are, and I lost my Guardian for no reason again. So now we go for Caius, and we're just like praying a War Chariot. I guess we have to Judgment if they do, but they Solemn it, which tells me pretty much guaranteed no War Chariot. So I Judgment their Judgment, and now we threaten lethal. They have to Book of Moon it, which is fine. They summon... Why didn't they summon this in attack and try to hit over? I guess if it's bottomless, which it is, they would just lose. Okay. That's fair, but they still just lose because we tribute for Caius and go for game. So, unfortunate there for the Gladiator Beast opponent. Next match, this one is against, I believe, plants. It was some kind of crazy plant deck. I never saw Amaryllis in here, but it looked a lot like Amaryllis. I'm not really sure if it was or not. Anyway, we have the hamster Caius thing, which is just so dumb and so overpowered going first. Tough for them to come back from this. I think they attack with Sangan. We hit the old back row, obviously. We hit over the Sangan. They get a search. They go for... I think they get Dandelion, so they can pitch it in end phase with Phoenix Wing Wind Blast or something. We summon the Guardian. It gets Phoenix Winged. That's fine. We have very good back row here. I think they played super hard in the mirror. Yeah, they do. So the opponent just says, screw it, you don't have Mirror Force. And then I had Mirror Force, so very bad break for them there. We summon the Guardian, get Torrential, go for the Gigantes, and that's going to be enough for game with the Call of the Haunted, bringing back the 2400 attack, Caius the Shadow Monarch. Rough game one for the opponent there. Going second into Hamster Caius is just like... It's just like unplayable. Here, they open up a pretty bad hand, actually. But, okay... They Armory, and then they get a Cactus Bouncer, which I don't know if they sided this or what's going on with this card, but it was in their deck. Here they go for Phoenix Wing, Tomato Attack, and we're kind of just down on tempo. I think we crash with the Giant Rat, crash with the other Giant Rat. I just want to fill up my graveyard for Gigantes, I guess, is my thinking, and then we get Mole, Bounce Back. Okay. Here... They summon Tomato Attack. Why didn't they Miracle Fertilizer for Titanial, actually? We get Bottomless, which sucks. Yeah, just, like, straight up sucks. Here, I think I made a pretty huge misplay at this moment. I decided to just bounce it with the Grand Mole, but then we're, like, dead to Titanial Swing and Direct, which I could have also maybe summoned Gigantes main too, but that's kind of besides the point. I think... Yeah, probably the correct play was just to ram Rat and then drop Trag in the damage step. Actually, wait. Does that even do anything? We don't have an 8 in our hand. Yeah, I'm not sure what the correct play was. Whatever the correct play was, it wasn't what I did. So, yeah, we can't just pass here because, like, then one hit just kills us, and they hard drew their DDR. Maybe if they hadn't, we would have survived and possibly come back, but... Yeah, that's weird. I think I played that one turn wrong. Somehow we ended up, like, 2 down on tempo, and I don't think it should have happened, but opponent goes for Titanial. It's so weird. Their build looks a lot like Amaryllis, but I don't think I ever saw Amaryllis once. Maybe it was Amaryllis, and they just got really unlucky and didn't see it or something. Then again, they're not playing a ton of mill cards, so it kind of explain why they didn't see it. So here they go for Miracle Fertilizer, get the Titanial, and then, like, here's a situation where you would think they would have sent Amaryllis if they were on it, so... I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this probably wasn't an Amaryllis plant build. It was some kind of plant build with, like, abusing Mark of the Rose and stuff, which is basically the whole point of playing plant decks, but it didn't seem like an Amaryllis one. So here we're just going to get rid of everything. And we have Gores, so we should probably be fine. I think they go for Double Mark here. They go for Double Mark for some reason, which, yeah, I don't know. There's just, like, no good play for them here, I think. Because they can't kill, and, like, they can't do anything to keep themselves from dying, especially once I drop the Gores. They also attacked in the wrong order, I guess. So we had this token when we shouldn't have. But we do just go for game either way, I think. We're just going for game. Like, they're on 100 life after attacks, and then we summon Caius, burn for lethal, etc., etc. So we end up taking the dub versus the plant player as well. Final match up against Hero Beat, I believe it was. Very popular deck in the meta right now, although this guy was not playing the Diva version. We open a pretty mid-hand. I was on RFDD in this version of the build. Huh. I don't think this card got used. This is probably how it got cut. Like, I just played a whole game with RFDD in my hand, and it never became live, and I was like, screw it. So here, we do pop the Alias, thinking that they have Gemspark. They actually don't have Gemspark, but, you know, better safe than sorry. I think I do go for summoning the Card Trooper here. We swing into the Stratos. It's going to be met with nothing, huh? Okay, so here they get another alias. They summon alias attack. I book it. They, for some reason, do not chain Gemspark. That's so weird. Why would you not chain Gemspark there? Anyway, they try to call, and then I Typhoon the call, which, very good, because letting them summon Stratos there would have been a pretty rough thing. We're going to beat over this. We only built 2, and we built 2 of our Dark Callings, which is absolutely hilarious. Just like story of my life with this deck. We will mill all our Dark Callings. Anyway, we can't drop Trag because it'll just die. We have to wait. Drop it here. Then I think we just switch it to attack because we don't want to get Gemspark chained to our like pitch to steal effect. Then we go set all of them. Raiko's going to get rid of it. Just like, and we mill our 3rd Dark Call. Oh, good lord. Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen? So we get Bottomless, which is a good start in terms of getting our FCD live. I don't know what possessed them to not torrential this, because they had 2 Miracle Fusions in their hand. It's not clear that they were ever going to draw another out. I mean, 2 E-Calls are gone, 2 Aliases gone, Stratos is gone. You've got like a handful of actual Fossil Dyna outs left in your deck, but they just decide to gamble, and it pays off because they top deck Snowman Eater. Here we go for Caius, get torrential. That's a perfectly good trade for us. Summon the Giant Rat attack. They have nothing for this, which is pretty rough. So they Miracle attack. We end up just getting the Mole. They Miracle again. We just Bottomless this because we're going to lose the Mole anyway. They Solemn it. I decided to Solemn back because I think getting rid of all of the Miracle fodder is going to be very good. And they're just like running super low on threats here. I know we're also running low on threats with 9 cards in our deck and all of the Dark Callings gone. But I think we have some more actual like normal summons left. I do set the Rat. Why did I set the Rat? There must have been a reason. Playing around Deep Prison, maybe? Probably. Oh no, playing around Hero Blast, I think, was the main thought. But anyway, they don't attack. And then we draw Caius. And we just slam the Caius, and they leave the duel. Which, I'm not sure why they did that. They had 1 more turn left. They could have top-decked the 3rd Alias or something. I don't know. Could have top-decked something into something. Probably didn't need to leave, but yeah. Opponent left the duel at that point. So those were all the matches that we had. I'm definitely feeling like we're getting somewhere pretty solid with this rock deck. A little more fine-tuning. I might have a polished version ready. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought. I hope you enjoyed the matches, and I'll see you next time. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.